Richmond Rovers and Grey Lynn Park go hand in hand. It wouldn't feel the same anywhere else.
It's as much Grey Lynn as buying ice cream up in Surrey Prison is. You've got to ask yourself, why does the club still look very brown?
There's other challenges outside of our control, which are for want of a better word, the NIMBYs, not in my backyard. They look at the club and they go, we don't want this in my backyard. I said, hang on, you guys have just moved in. One thing I always marvel about down at the park, how Polynesian the club is. We've got this little brown centre that's still that way.
Grey Lynn Park's a spiritual centre for Pacific Island people.
Really?
This is the box that came with us when we arrived here from Samoa. It had all our belongings in it. Over the years, we've just used it as a bit of a storage box. As you can see, it's got photographs from the homeland, village.
I think Richmond was a really big part of our lives, through. I was born into it because I had 3 older brothers who all played Richmond. Playing for the club wasn't just playing for a club, it was playing for all your family.
Yeah.
That family support extends right up to great-grandma coming down to watch great-grandkids play. That's pretty special.
Over 100 years ago, before the Polynesians came, it was a workingmen's area, and they used this park, Grey Lynn Park, as a recreational place for the town and city, to have weekends and enjoy the park. So the club developed with that park, with migrations, 50s, 60s, 40s even. This is where everyone came to. There was no development out south, there was no west, there was no east. Everyone was here. All the people that jumped over the back fence and went and played sport were all Polynesians.
Over the years, we've given a lot to Richmond, but Richmond has given a lot to us in terms of friendships, life skills, successes, achievements. Everybody pitches in, everybody does their best. It's pure community voluntary work. The biggest challenge is having quality volunteers. People work jobs and they've got kids, and how can they fit like taking kids to training and being a coach or a manager or an administrator on the board?
My mum and dad have played for the Richmond Rovers. My uncle's played for the Richmond Rovers, and his daughter has also played for the Richmond Rovers. All my cousins have played, and I've got actually nieces and nephews as well that play there at the moment. Since I can remember, I've been down at Grey Lynn Park, as a kid, running around and watching my parents play. And I just remember being really cold and hearing the boots rattle off the concrete. I remember that being a vivid memory. I went to Australia when I was 16. I signed a contract for the SG Ball, Penrith Panthers. I remember it always being a dream to try and make NRL, so that was the first opportunity I got. And yeah, I moved over by myself. I really enjoyed the life over there, but you see how passionate they are about their club. And it just reminds you of man, I really miss my own club, playing in Grey Lynn Park where I grew up. And that's kind of the realization that I had. I grew up playing there all this time, but didn't really appreciate it until I was over there. I now live out in Mangere with my wife and 2 kids. So yeah, I make the journey out to Grey Lynn each week because, I couldn't see myself playing for any other team. Richmond is my home, and I'll drive 3 hours if I had to,
I grew up basically on the fringe of the park, so I have loads of memories here as a child. You'd call it my second home growing up. We used to joke that for my dad it was his first home and that our home was his second home. But as a kid here at Grey Lynn Park, not only was there rugby league, but also all the churches who used to use these grounds, so they'd have their galongas down here. So I would wake up in summer to all the whistles going because I have their kirikiki games down here. So the park used to just be buzzing with churches or touch games in summer, and then obviously in the winter, rugby league. What's cool about the park is it brings everyone together for a common purpose, but it brings everyone who they might not see each other on the regular, but they know that coming home here, you'll see someone that you've played with, someone that's coached you, managed you, or had some type of role. When there's a game on, it brings people home.
The Fox Championship, it's the premiership that we all play for. It's the pinnacle of rugby league in Auckland. The last time the Richmond Rovers won a Fox Premiership was, I think, 40 years ago. The same teams have been winning it over the last, however many years. This was probably the most successful start that Richmond has had to a Fox season in a very long time. So the signs are promising there, and I think the boys are just having fun. We're all gelling and we all get along on and off the field, so I think that's what's helping us, and we're on a good path at the moment.
Hey, our team focus has got to fucking work together. Okay? End of the day, boys, the fucking execute your role. Well, good? Hey, boys, that's us, eh? Hey, boys.
Even though we've been a club that's been down there for so long, the changing nature of populations in these areas, the demographics have changed. It's that type of mentality which raises its head every now and then, and we've got to sort of make a case for ourselves and just to get our liquor license, you know, so we can function as a sports club, because one person doesn't want us there.
You hear stories about your parents and your aunties and uncles partying till 3 in the morning at the club, and the club just being packed full of people, and they're just enjoying themselves, and because we've got to shut it off at 10 o'clock, we don't really get to experience it. So that's something that has changed in Richmond. Yeah, it would be nice to be at your own club, being able to celebrate and not have to worry about everything else around.
Have you seen these photos, these earlier years? It's a white landscape there, and then you look on the other side, just brown people there.
Because we were here at a time where Pacific Island families came at a vulnerable stage in their life. They were new to a country, language was new, location was new, being separated from family. So there's a strong connection for our Pasifika families to Grey Lynn, who identify with that. Those are the types of families that we have here at Richmond, and that's what attracts families to Richmond, is because there is that strong sense of community. Less than 5% live locally, all the rest come from as far as Papakura. We have over the shore. This year in particular, we've got some of our girls who come from Hibiscus Coast, Pakuranga, so these are families that come at peak hour times as well, who also have jobs as well as bringing their children back. So a lot of dedication to come back to Richmond. It just speaks volumes about the rich history of our club and what we stand for: ainga, loyalty, respect.
My partner played for Richmond for 20 plus years, so that wasn't a question of if our kids are going to play for Richmond, it was when are they going to play for Richmond. So we moved out of Central. Ideally, we would have loved to stay in Central, but it was just a little bit too expensive and we couldn't afford to rent or buy. When we come back to Central, like, we feel comfortable, like it's, you know, it's home, we're back home, yeah.
Driving into the gate, and no matter how much around has changed, like, come to Grey Lynn, you know what you're gonna get. You see the brown faces, you see the jokes, you see the laughs, you know, and that's always special. I've kind of had my shot, you know, at trying to make it professionally in rugby league. Like I said, I moved over, got homesick. I played a half a season with the under-20 Warriors. I had to have surgery on my knee twice. And to be honest, at the moment, I just want to win a Fox with my team, my Richmond team, and I'll be happy. And then I can finally retire, probably. I've got most of my boy cousins that are here today, playing cards with my nana. She always worries about us drinking on a Friday night, you know, so she's like, oh, you boys come play on a Friday so that you're not out drinking and I know you guys are safe here playing cards with us. And Nana on the sidelines, she wouldn't be the typical Pacific Islander scream and like yell, you know, she'd probably voice her opinion here and there, but now often she was quiet, and she also gets real emotional as well. She sees us play and she'll shed a tear and stuff, and just shows how proud she is of us. Yeah, it means a lot playing in front of my family, and all you want to do when you grow up is make them proud, you know, make your family proud. So when they're coming out to watch, it gives you a bit more extra motivation, and it makes you want to play a bit harder.
Straight from the game.
Turn up.
Yeah,
just boost straight from the game.
Let's get into the pools. Okay?
Same pools.
And then from there, we'll let you know what the schedule is for next week for Wednesday's game. Let's go.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
So the legacy that I would like to leave as a captain is someone who led with his actions, not someone who just talks, but who goes out there and tries to lead by example. I'm just someone that the boys kind of respect, you know, has a bit of integrity.
Why people come back to Richmond is family. It's family. It's like, why do people go to their parents for Sunday kongai? Because it's family. You know, that's where you go. You don't ask, you don't question, it's just your family. Playing for the club, can't put your finger on it. I think you have to be part of it to know. It is just like being with family.
Ace pair 10.
I got ace 10 and 2. What's your iPad in your hand? Lucky Usul. And then KPC wins because that's what do you got?
You've got a straight.
He's got a straight, yeah. So he wins. Too quiet.
It's a week to the last.
Let's see, but you got a straight.
Build my hopes up